Hello, ladies and gentlemen, what is up? I wanted to make a video kind of going over some of the BFA alpha changes that we've seen for various classes that I play that you guys watch me for. So to start off, I kind of want to go over Windwalker Monk because it's something I haven't really talked too much about on my stream. I haven't really sat down, looked at all of the changes, and really given my thoughts on it just yet. So something I wanted to do. And that's why this morning I'm drinking some coffee, looking at these changes, and I wanted to share that with you. So we're going to be going over Windwalker Monk in this video. There's not too much information here, but there are some things that I found interesting. One of those things being, to start off with, is a Blackout Kick. So there's been a change made to a Blackout Kick. It looks like it's going to be actually costing, actually, one sec. Let me try to decipher this. So basically it's the same thing. You kick with a blast of chi energy, does a certain amount of damage. It looks like less damage. One thing I want to note right away is these percentages are really hard to sort of decipher because there's going to be a stat squish next expansion. So you don't actually know if something's going to be doing significantly less damage. I just don't know how weapons are going to work, how much attack power I'm going to have, all of those things. So we don't actually know, yeah, exactly how much damage reduction or how much damage gain we're going to be gaining on these abilities. But one thing we do know for sure is it does look like it also reduces the cooldown of Rising Sun Kick and Fist of Fury by 1 second when used. And it costs 3 chi, and it is a 3-second cooldown. So Blackout Kick, instead of just being kind of like a chi spender that you can weave into your rotation, it looks like it's going to be a major part. Every 3 seconds, you're going to be wanting to use Blackout Kick for that 3 chi, so you do get the reduction of cooldown of Rising Sun Kick and Fist of Fury, which I assume are once again going to be your strongest abilities. Now, if I get any of these wrong, I encourage you guys to please leave a comment below. Let me know if I massively screwed anything up, because sometimes deciphering these patch notes can be difficult, but we will move forward. The next thing that I found kind of interesting is Fist of Fury is going to be reverted to how it was a little while ago. And in one of the previous expansions, I forget which one, it would have been the last expansion. So basically, it pummels all the targets in front of you, dealing percentage of your damage to your primary target. So whoever you are attacking is going to be taking 100% of the Fist of Fury damage, and everyone else is going to be taking this reduced number, so about half damage, it looks like. So instead of Fist of Fury just doing full damage to everyone, your primary target is going to take full damage, and everyone else that's getting cleaved down is only going to take half damage. This is something I actually like. I would really like to see in Battle for Azeroth overall less sort of random cleave damage. I don't think it's really fun. Well, sometimes it can be fun for you, but it's not fun for your opponent, and it's not that, I don't know, that skillful in general, where you just are using your single target rotation and it's just randomly killing everyone around you. So I think this is a good change. Hopefully more abilities are changed for the better, like Fist of Fury, where it's not just randomly killing everyone. Now, next thing I noticed, leg sweep. We can sort of talk about this later, but it is now baseline, so it's just a baseline ability that all monks have, and instead of being a 45-second cooldown, it is going to be a 60-second cooldown. I need to sneeze, so 1 second. Sorry about that. Got sneeze dust. So baseline ability now, instead of being a talent, all monks will have it, and it will be a 60-second cooldown. I think it's good. Once again, reduce some of the cooldowns of these AoE stuns, make them a little less powerful. It's something I want to see across the board. Obviously, if it just happened in the leg sweep, it wouldn't be that fun, but you know, if they did it to a lot of different abilities, then it would be a lot better. So, leg sweep, Fist of Fury, one of the things I want to talk about. Blackout Kick change, what I want to talk about. And then another thing was Transcendence Transfer. So in the past, your port had a 25-second cooldown, and now it looks like it is going to be a 45-second cooldown. So increasing that port cooldown almost by double. That is very significant. One of the problems I feel like with monks right now, you know, just trying to not be biased, as I feel like our survivability is a little too strong. So, you know, reducing some of our mobility, because it is frustrating, you know, when our opponents are attacking us and we can just port every single time that they try to do an effective go on us, and we're just getting healed up behind the pillar from our Transcendence. I think this is a good change. I think reducing some mobility across the board is good. If it only happens to Monk, obviously unfortunate, but it's one of those things I think just needs to happen. Mobility is at a ridiculous spot right now, so this is something I like to see. Now, moving forward and sort of looking at some of these talent changes, I wanted to actually just go over to the talent calculator for Windwalker Monks. So for the specialization, the first thing I wanted to point out to you is that we now have Ring of Peace, baseline, as well as leg sweep. So that means anytime you go up against a monk, he's going to be super obnoxious with that Ring of Peace. But that added utility is going to be very nice, not only for, you know, leveling, but for Mythic Plus and our favorite things, Arena, RBGs, duels. It's going to be exceptionally powerful. That added utility is another thing that I want to see. More things in the game that aren't just damage. Although I do want damage to be meaningful, I like the added utility, especially with leg sweep also being baseline and being a little bit longer of a cooldown and only stunning for 3 seconds. So that's another key thing I missed. Leg sweep only stuns for 3 seconds now, so really reducing the effectiveness of that AoE CC. So far, I definitely like what I see. If we look at some of the talent choices, there are some very interesting things to note here. So our 15 row so far, the same. You got Chi Burst, you got Chi Wave, you got Eye of the Tiger. Now, I think one of the things I noticed about Chi Burst, if we go back here, Chi Burst, yeah, nature damage to all enemies, healing the monk and its allies in its path. Chi Burst generates 1 Chi per enemy target damaged. Pretty cool, huh? So if your enemies are lined up in an RBG or a battleground or whatever you may be doing in Arena, and you Chi Burst a whole bunch of people, that's going to give you basically full Chi, which I think that's awesome. That's an awesome skillful play you can make that you get rewarded for. Very cool, because Chi Burst has always kind of been my favorite. It reminds me of like Goku channeling Kamehameha, so having that ability is going to be sick. So excited for that. Row number 30. There are some differences here. You may notice that Chi Torpedo is down here and Healing Elixirs is here. You're going to say, what the heck? Row 30, that's supposed to be our mobility row. You know, we have Celerity, we have Tiger's Lust, and now Healing Elixir. What the hell? And I think one of the things that Blizzard wanted to do in BFA is make some of these choices a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging. Now, in the level 30 row, you can say, do I want mobility or do I want some of that survivability? And that is going to be a very tough choice to make. I mean, you have to basically decide between Tiger's Lust, that Root Break, or being able to keep yourself alive with Healing Elixirs. So there are going to be sacrifices made in Legion. I guess I like it. I'm not against that. I think it makes it more interesting. You can kind of spec into being like a survivability monk or more of a mobility monk depending on the situation. So talent choice is going to be more impactful moving forward into BFA overall, it seems to me. Your 45 row, you have Ascension, Power Strike, and Energizing Elixirs. Pretty much the exact same thing. Moving forward to the 60 row, this is kind of new damage abilities. So I like these. I like what I see so far. Let me show you. We have Tornado Kicks. Rising Sun Kick strikes a second time for 25% additional damage. So that's that sort of double backflip we get on the Rising Sun Kicks that we had in Legion from the artifact weapon, and it's kind of being weaved into a talent choice, a damage choice for BFA. The next is Combo Breaker. When Tiger Palm causes the Blackout Kick effect, that is when your Blackout Kick costs no Chi. It's also going to reset the cooldown of your Rising Sun Kick. Now, that's kind of cool. When you do get lucky with the proc, that means you will be obviously getting that free Blackout Kick, but you'll also be resetting the cooldown of your Rising Sun Kick. I kind of like it. It's a little random for me. I think I'd prefer an ability that I can, rely on a little more. But I mean, if you're getting lucky with Combo Breaker and you're getting procs over and over and over, then it's one of those things where you can do a lot of damage. Now, the next ability I want to talk about was Fists of the White Tiger. It is a 30-second cooldown. Strike your target with a technique of the White Tiger, dealing 500% weapon damage, physical damage to your target while generating 3 Chi. So it sounds to me like this is like a Strike of the Windlord, except instead of costing Chi, it actually generates Chi for you. So another way to generate chi, another way to make your rotation sort of interesting. Once again, comparing the damage, it's hard to really know how much it's going to do, but 30-second cooldown, big burst that generates 3 chi, at least I assume. So yeah, maybe it actually doesn't do that much damage. Maybe it's just, you know, a super powerful Blackout Kick or something like that. We'll have to wait and see, but it sounds fun to me, and it sounds like one of those things that's going to replace Strike of the Windlord, because you guys have to remember, we are losing our artifact weapons, so that means they have to kind of pick the things from the artifact tree that they liked to give to us in the next expansion, and also get rid of some things. So that means we're not always going to have Strike of the Windlord baseline anymore, unfortunately, because it was such a fun ability, but maybe Fist of the White Tiger is going to be one of those things we could spec into. And at the end of the video, I think I'm going to like choose my talents and see like what I would do so far. Next, the 75 row, you have Inner Strength. Each chi you spend reduces damage taken by 3% for 4 seconds. So, I mean, I assume the stacks. So if you're spending chi like crazy, maybe you can get this stacked up to, you know, 4 or 5 stacks, maybe even higher, giving you 15% damage reduction while actively fighting in combat. So could be strong. And then once again, you have this interesting choice where, what the heck, Chi Torpedo's down here? Okay, so I don't want Inner Strength. I don't want Diffuse Magic, which is also here. It's pretty much the same as it's been. And then there's Chi Torpedo. So in a weird world, you could get Tiger's Lust and Chi Torpedo, or you could get Celerity and Chi Torpedo, giving you insane mobility, but at the same time, then you don't have Healing Elixirs, then you don't have that Inner Strength or that Diffuse Magic to keep yourself alive. But then if you only go Healing Elixirs and Diffuse Magic, you don't have Tiger's Lust. It's like, basically, I feel like in this next expansion, depending on what I'm playing against, I'm going to be changing my talents every game, and maybe that is the goal for them. You know, if I'm playing against a mage, I'm going to want, you know, Tiger's Lust and Chi Torpedo, whereas I'm playing against, you know, something that doesn't have that kind of mobility, maybe like a warrior who's going to be, you know, smacking me down. I'm going to need that Healing Elixir and Inner Strength to be able to survive. But that is the 75 row. The 90 row, we have Hit Combo, which is the same as it has been. Each successive attack that triggers combo strikes in a row grants 1% increased damage. So looks like we're keeping combo strikes, keeping hit combo, which I like because I feel like it adds an interesting element to Windwalker Monks that really no other classes have. You can't just mash the same button twice and, you know, really get away with it if you want to have optimal damage. Next up, we have the Rushing Jade Wind talent, 6-second cooldown. Summons a Whirly Swirly Tornado. Seems the same as it was in the past. I didn't see too many changes with it. We can take a look. What is it called again? Rushing Jade Wind. Let's see here. Control F. Rushing Jade. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything super exciting about it. Does some damage. Cool. I like adding Rushing Jade Wind to the rotation. It's something I miss from, you know, the older expansions, but we'll have to see how it can compete with Hit Combo. And then another really cool change that I wanted to talk about was Invoke's One, the White Tiger, is now a 2-minute cooldown instead of, you know, that longer 3-minute cooldown. And it doesn't last as long, so it only lasts 20 seconds. You summon, you know, the White Tiger for 20 seconds, hits your primary target, AoEs. So maybe this is a viable talent option instead of having that huge all-in 3-minute cooldown, 45-second pet. Now it's a little bit shorter cooldown, lasts a little bit shorter, so it's going to be more consistent, which is something I like to see. I never like it when cooldowns are super long. You can use it once in a game or maybe twice in a game, and then it's over with, and you overwhelm your opponent with it. I like when you have like this option, you have this pet, it's strong, you bring it in, it doesn't last for 45 seconds, it's not ridiculous, but, you know, something you can add to your arsenal, and I'm happy about that change overall. So that's going to be an interesting row. Next, the 100 talents are going to be Wind Strike. When you Fist of Fury, your next 3 Tiger Palm attacks release a gust of wind that deal weapon damage to all physical weapon damage, 100% of your weapon damage, physical damage to all enemies 8 yards in front of you. So if people are stacked up, Wind Strikes could be very strong. You know, you Fist of Fury, and then you Tiger Palm, you Rising Sun Kick, you Tiger Palm, maybe you Fist of the White Tiger. I don't know how your rotation is going to go, but it seems to me that it's just going to add some additional AoE, which should be fun. Then we have Whirling Dragon Punch, an ability that I love personally. It was my favorite spec in Legion, so it's something I'm probably going to be messing around with quite a bit. moving forward into BFA, but it performs a devastating whirling upward strike, blah, 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 blah. Only usable while Fist of Fury and Rising Sun Kick are on cooldown. Doesn't look like too much has changed there. So, yeah. I like that. I like that Wind Strikes is kind of in this row. Makes it a little bit more interesting. If we look at the old Monk talent calculator, I forget what ability was here, but I remember it being garbage. Oh, it was the little swirly chi orbit thing or whatever. So this sounds a lot better than the chi orbit, something you can control, and it sounds a little bit more fun, in my opinion. And then lastly, we have Serenity, which doesn't seem to be changed too much. 40% increased damage. Everything's free, 100% reduced cooldown, 1.5 minute cooldown, lasts for 8 seconds. So I don't think really too much has changed with Serenity. The talent choices seem fun if we want to just do like a hypothetical build. And I want to know what you guys are going to be playing. So just looking at these talents so far, what do you think is the spec that you're going to be playing? You can just answer, you know, if you're playing Eye of the Tiger, that's 1. I'll show you what I'm going to play. So I like the new Chi Burst, so probably going to go with Chi Burst. You know, healing elixirs, it's nice to keep yourself alive, but Tiger's Lust is too much fun. I want to get out of those roots. I want to keep myself super fast. And then energizing elixir, of course. Fist of the White Tiger seemed interesting, so although I'm going to be missing out on that double backflip, I am going to be playing Fist of the White Tiger. I like that it, you know, does some good burst every 30 seconds and also generates chi. Next up, just because I want to be absolutely ridiculous, I want to have Chi Torpedo. So we have Tiger's Lust and Chi Torpedo. I'm going to be flying all over the map, although I'm probably going to get, I'm going to be paper thin. It's totally fine. We'll just kill our opponents before they can kill us, because that's all that really matters, right? And then hit combo is a lot of fun, but I think I'm going to be going with my boy Zwen, at least initially. I like that it's a reduced cooldown, you know, reduced duration. Hopefully it hits still really hard, so can mess up our opponents. And then lastly, I'm gonna have to go with, you know, Whirling Dragon Punch once again. Yeah, Whirling Dragon Punch, that's my favorite ability. So the build I'm gonna be playing, at least just purely based off speculation, is gonna be 3 3 3 3 2 3 2. So none of these tier 1 talents really doing it for me right now, but you know, that's okay. I'm down with the third row. That's good. So 3 3 3 3 2 3 2. I want to know what you guys are going to be playing, so leave a comment below. If you guys like this style of video where I kind of just go over some of the changes that are going to be happening in Battle for Azeroth and my thoughts, definitely let me know. Give the video a like. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have a good one. Remember, if I messed up anything here, if you feel like I'm really stupid and you want to leave a comment, do it. Let me know. Because I just want to know what's going on. Like, I could have definitely got some of these notes wrong, but I want to know what's going on next expansion. I want to be excited about it, just like you guys, and I want to play the shit out of this next expansion, and I'm going to be doing it and bringing you content on my Twitch stream, which is twitch.tv/Vanuki, as well as my YouTube channel. So make sure you guys subscribe if you want to. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.